The role of the ESOL teacher in our team meetings vary. Their primary focus is to bring that lens of the English learner to the table and to help the team think about the supports that they'll need to put into place so that those English learners can be successful. So, for example, they may start, if the team is looking at the standard that they're going to be teaching, really looking closely at the vocabulary that is embedded in that standard, whether it's the content vocabulary or the academic language of the content, and what is it that the students are going to need to be able to do orally, reading in a reading format or even in a written format, and what scaffolds would they need to put into place to help those students? Or is it a matter of background knowledge? Do we anticipate that there are any students who might have no idea what the science concept is or the topic of a book that they're going to be reading about? So bringing that lens to the table. And when we think about the linguistic complexity of a standard, what we're asking a student to do in terms of responding to a question or being able to incorporate that language of the content into any kind of oral or written responses, what kind of supports might they need to put into place? For example, sentence frames that will help the student not only be able to respond to a question, but to think at a deeper level about that content, not just surface, right there kinds of answers. So vocabulary, background knowledge, supports like sentence frames, but also when we're looking at the actual resources that might be included in a lesson, how they could adapt the language of questions or the presentation, making it more visual. And also thinking about an assessment that we might be giving, whether it's more of a informal assessment or a formal assessment, how might they adapt it to make it more accessible for the English learner to show what they know and what they're understanding about the content. So it depends on where the team is in that cycle of planning for lessons and assessing and then reflecting on that data, but those supports that the ESOL teacher can provide to the team increases the team's understanding of how to support English learners and moves that whole team forward.